Hey guys! Welcome to Mama's Boys. In this program, we will meet priests from around the globe. We will discuss interesting features of their lives, from their humble beginnings, their calling, the churches, and more. Hey guys! Today on Mama's Boys, Mama Mary's Boys, we have with us His Excellency Most Reverend Mercado of the Diocese of Parañaque. Join us to know him better here on Mama's Boys, Mama Mary's Boys. Hello po, Bishop. First of all,
Hello.
thank you very much po for this interview. Kindly tell us a little something about yourself po muna, Bishop.
Thank you, Karen. Well, let me start with, I was born in June 6, 1951. So just a few weeks ago.
Happy birthday.
Yes, I celebrated my birthday. I'm the eldest of 5 boys and 1 girl. I'm the eldest, so there are 3 other boys that came after me, and then a girl, and then a boy, 2 boys more. Ganun ba yun? Tama, ano? The girl is the 4th, all right? So, and then, both my parents are from Manila. So I was born in Santa Cruz, Manila, grew up there, and then we transferred to Caloocan in Morning Breeze in the MCU hospital area there. And then at the age of 12 years old, when I finished my grade school in St. Joseph Academy, I applied for the seminary.
You were just in elementary.
After elementary, grade 6 lang ako nung nag-apply ako. And strange, the reason why I'm applying sa seminary is simply because my best friend, my classmate, when I was in grade 6, was entering the seminary. So gusto ko siyang sundan para tuloy pa rin yung aming friendship. Oo. And then after 1 year, he left. I had to make a decision to stay, and I stayed. So he left, I stayed.
Paano po yun, Bishop? Paano po yung naging vocation? Aside po na sinundan niyo po yung inyong best friend. What led you to enter the seminary?
All right. So that was what led me, the event, the experience, because of my friend. But of course, that desire, that wanting to become a priest, was even made earlier, much earlier. And all I knew was when I was 5 or 6 years old, when my parents would bring us, the 2 of us, my brother and to the church, I found myself being attracted to the color of the vestment. So sabi ko, I like those colors. So maybe one day I can wear those colors. And then I also liked, after a while, not only the colors that the priest wore, but the way he would deliver his homily. Sabi ko, gusto ko paglaki ko, orator ako. Kagaya nung paring yon. So, yun ang aking musmus na pag-iisip, no? But then, of course, before I became a bishop, I asked my mother, sabi ko, Mama, do you know if ever in the course of my life, I expressed to you I wanted to be a priest? And she said, yes. When you were 3 years old, 3 years old, when I would ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? You would always say, I want to be priest. So, pali, ganon. I can't even pronounce the R. So, pare, that early. Sabi ko sa kanya, was that the earliest that you can think of? Sabi niya sa akin, I have a secret. Sabi niya, when you were still in my womb, being the first child, I prayed to God, God, if this were a boy, I'm willing to give him up to you.
Wow.
I'm giving him to you. So the Lord must have heard her because that was her wish. And So it was. So, yun pala. Dun pa lang sa sa sinapupunan ng nanay ko, ay tinawag na pala ako. Because my mother prayed. But I did not know that. Kasi sabi ko nga nalaman ko lang yun, mag-uubispo na ako. Bago mag-ubispo. I never asked her. Sabi nga niya, secret. So that
Pero,
was...
Bishop, do you have any relatives po na priest that
Where?
entered the...
Yes. We had one who is my grandfather from my mother's side. From Tacloban pa, sa Leyte pa. He was a monsignor doon. Pero I never met him. Personally, I never met him. So, we just heard, meron kaming ganong kapamilya. But other than that, no. Except I had another one who is almost with me, same level, nagmadre. Nagmadre naman siya, RVM. So, tita ko siya, pero ang edad namin, hindi nagkakalayo. Ganon.
Pero yung mga siblings niyo po, may mga sumunod po ba sa...
Oh, yes. Actually, mabuti tinanong mo yan. You know, again, I think my brother also owes this to my mother. Because next one to me is a boy, another boy. And my mother's prayer was so powerful that even my brother heard the call. So, actually, we became two. So,
after po nun, yung mga sumunod...
Mga masumunod, hindi na. The third one became a dental tech. Tapos my sister was a dentist. And the others were, kumbaga, in their own profession. Respective professions nila yun. So, may mga asawa, nag-asawa sila, fine. But kaming dalawa ang naiwan na nagpare. Okay.
Bishop, how many years have you been in the ministry na po?
Right now, I was ordained priest first, March 19. Guess what that is? The date, March 19. The feast of Saint Joseph. I entered Saint Joseph Academy. My father's name was Jose.
Wow.
So you can see, there's a pattern. I was being under the care of Saint Joseph. So when I entered the seminary, I was ordained on his feast. March 19, 1977.
We will still be with Bishop Jess after a few reminders. So stay tuned here on Mama's Boys, Mama Mary's Boys. You are still watching Mama's Boys, Mama Mary's Boys. Click that like, share, and subscribe button for more Mama's Boys videos. Back on our interview with Bishop Jesse. Ano po yan, Bishop? Kayo po yung pumili ng date of ordination nyo? Or...
I think it was the seminary. But also, I had also wanted it. So parang nagkatugma. So it was the seminary who set up the date. Kasi that was towards the end of our studies.
Bishop, what were your previous roles po?
Okay, the ministry I handled, no? Okay. As soon as I entered, I finished my March 19, 1977, I was assigned as parochial vicar ng San Isidro, Labrador Parish in Taft Avenue sa Pasay. But hardly was I assigned. I was assigned only there 3 weeks. And then I got reassigned. The Cardinal Sin, pulled me out and loaned me to another diocese to help in a seminary in Baguio. To be what? Spiritual director in that seminary because they are in need. And the only reason the Cardinal gave me was the bishop there had asked for me through the help of the rector of that seminary, asking for me. So I can be sent there. And the bishop says, the cardinal says, I will send you there because I cannot refuse a fellow bishop in need. So even if we need you here, you go there. Because I believe if we are generous, God cannot be outdone in generosity. He will also provide. So I stayed there for 2 years. And then when I came back, akala ko lalagay ako sa parish, hindi na. From then on, I was sent to the seminary. And I never had another parish. For the 20 years of my priestly life, it was always connected with seminary formation.
Bishop, you said a while ago po that you were a graduate of San Jose Seminary.
Yes, yes.
And we all know that the Jesuits or the Society of Jesus were there. How come you did not enter into a religious life or join them po? Did it ever cross into your mind
Well,
to join
first of
them
all,
po?
I must say I admired the Jesuits. I look up to them because they were my formators. And one of them being even really molded me spiritually because he was my spiritual director for 9 years. Si Father Thomas Green, I don't know if you know him, the author of so many spiritual books. And I was, kumbaga, under his care, spiritual care. So may spiritual direction, yan aking director. Now, could that have been a way of bringing me to the religious life? No, he never led me to the religious life. He always was sure that I was a priest for the diocese. So there was that basic respect. It never occurred to me. Why? I don't know. But I was sure I was not meant for them. Even if they were the best educators, my teachers.
Bishop, who are your inspirations po?
Yeah. Well, as you already can see, the very saint I had is Saint Joseph. And who is the first Joseph in my life? It is my father, because his name is Jose. So one person I really admire, my father. Because you want to know why?
Yes.
Okay. Kasi I'll share you one thing. Because my father, in his life, when he was asked what he wants to be in life, you know, pagka-graduate ka na, hindi ba, sa college, di ba meron kayong mga yearbook na doon, anong profession ang kukunin mo, anong gusto mo paglabas mo rito.
Yes po.
They would put a profession. But my father put there, I want to be a good father.
Wow.
I want to be a good father. Sa kanya, he saw it as a vocation. Hindi profession ang inilagay niya ron. Fatherhood. Sabi ko, malaking bagay sa akin yon na kung pinili niya yon is because parang ang role niya, ang challenge niya is, how am I going to raise my family? You know, one of the things that was, because of his work, he was always out, you know, presence, wala din lagi. Babalik siya, gabi na, yung ganon. So, he vowed, after maybe saving some money, he retired. He resigned from his work early, and then he established a kind of a printing press, and built it right beside our house, at the back of our house.
Para malapit po.
Para malapit. Because he wants to be present to the family. So true enough, his whole orientation was always for the family. So that one, I think, what I like about my father also is, ever since I entered the seminary, we seem to be able to communicate. He would always love, whenever I go home, we'd love to talk to each other. Not as father and son, more as man to man. Kumbaga, okay, what have you learned? What can I learn? Ganon. Ganon ang dealings ko with my father. So I have a deep respect because my father, I see, is in terms of, kumbaga, direction in life, ano siya eh, parang clear eh.
And I think po, I'm very sure po na proud po yung father po ninyo sa inyong magkakapatid.
Oh. Ito ang gusto ko i-share. Yeah. Nung una nga, nag-resist ang tatay ko eh. Sabi ko, why do you want to enter the seminary? Diba, bata pa ako kasi papasok po seminary. Hindi. Mag-ano ka muna, mag-aral ka muna sa kolehiyo. Kasi yung mga decisions na ganyan, that's a lifetime commitment, hindi ka pa handa. Ganon, ninasabi niya. Eh di sinabi ko sa classmate ko, hindi ako pinapayagan ng tatay ko eh. Sabi yung classmate ko, nag-complain sa nanay niya, hindi ako papasok, hindi papasok yung classmate ko rin. Tumawag yung nanay niya sa tatay ko. Sir, sabi niya, pagbigyan niyo naman yung anak niyo. Kasi kung hindi papasok anak niyo, hindi rin papasok anak ko. So dahil doon, nag-open naman tatay ko. I think he never regretted. Nor do I regret.
Bishop, what's your most memorable experience po as a priest po muna?
You know, there are two mottos I have I chose two mottos as a bishop. Nung auxiliary bishop ako ng Manila, that was where I was assigned. Auxiliary bishop to Cardinal Sin in the Archdiocese of Manila. I chose as my motto, in Latin, Gratia Dei Sum. Tatlong by the grace of God, I am. In other words, kung ano man itong pagtawag na ito, itong mission na ito, nakita ko biyaya ito ng Diyos Nasa Diyos ito Siya ang tumawag, siya ang nagbigay ng biyaya. So, unang-una nakikita ko, paano niya pinakita yung biyaya in many ways so that I can be supported. I can see that my life is really the priesthood. Yung mga taong nag-form sa akin at yung mga taong nag-accompany sa akin along the way. I think they were God's hands saying, I am with you. Hindi kita iiwan. Parang gano'n. So, dahil doon nakita ko, God has a special, kumbaga, God has been drawn to me because of that special love. Kaya sa akin ang pinili ko rin you are my beloved son. Yun ang sa akin
Don't go away. Mama's Boys, Mama Mary's Boys will be right back, so stay tuned. Hi! You are still watching Mama's Boys, Mama Mary's Boys. Please like and share our social media accounts for more updates about Limang Siglo. Back on our interview with Bishop Jesse.
Ang
Saan
feeling,
pa rin po?
Oo, ganun pa rin. Ang feeling ko, anak ako ng Diyos Siya ang tatay ko talaga So, yun. Yun ang parang sa akin, yung nagpupul sa akin sa Diyos. Kasi, tatay ko yan At sino nagpakilala ng tatay sa akin? Yung tatay ko. Kung ano ba, may link.
Jose po talaga.
Jose, kaya Joseph.
How about when you were a bishop po? Ano po yung pinaka-memorable experience?
Sa being a bishop? That's another chapter. Kaya, nung una district bishop ako While auxiliary bishop ng Manila, inassign sa akin ni Cardinal yung distrito ng Parañaque, Las Piñas, Muntinlupa. Noon may Pasay pa. PPLM. Ikaw ang district bishop dyan. Tapos, hindi nagtagal, nag-subdivide ang Manila. Naging kami diocese. Ngayon, sa pagpili ng diocese, sino magiging obispo ngayon dyan? Ako pa rin ang pinili ng Holy Father to be the first bishop of this Diocese of Parañaque in December 7, 2002. In 2003, and January 20, we were established as a new diocese. Okay? So, pipili na naman ako ng anong mag-guide sa aking ministry. Yung una, by the grace of God, I am what I am. So, sonship yan pagiging anak. Ngayon, ito naman, ang pinili ko naman, St. Luke. Yung sabi ni Jesus kay Peter, Satan will try to destroy you, But when you have risen from your betrayal, when you have been forgiven, sabi niya, confirm your brothers. Confirma fratres tuos. So, pinili ko yung kasi first. I realize I'm not perfect. We all have our own weaknesses. Sometimes we fall. But God raises us and says, when you have experienced forgiveness, when you experience healing, then now you can confirm your brothers who are also equally striving but struggling. So you can understand. Walk with them, confirm them, encourage them. Yun ang role. So my role has been what? Basically, to tap the goodness of my priest and to say, okay, I confirm you in your strength. But also, confirming also means that when I find you are at fault or you in your own weakness, I encourage you. I parang being compassionate, not to be judgmental, but to give them a chance. Ganon. Yun ang sa akin naging role. Now, that's what my ministry is all about. Really, it is walking with my priests, with my people, and learning to listen. Kasi yun ang naging role ko noon, spiritual director, to listen and then to help them discover what God is saying in their life. To encourage them. So, second, marami akong mga mabubuting pare. You know, the bishop cannot run, imagine, can you handle more than almost 1.5 million na katao? There are 53 parishes. How do you handle that? Ang dami-dami. No. You need, ka-team. Dapat meron kang team na tutulong sa iyo. Kaya I realized, my being a bishop meant for me to always learn how to play teamwork. Collaboration. So, importante sa akin, meron akong mga pare I can trust and who can also trust me. We can work together. First, to ensure meron kaming unity among priests. Yan pinaka-importante. Pangalawa, mahikayat yung mga bata magpare. Kasi ang problema namin ngayon, alam nyo, wala na kaming masyadong pumapasok sa seminaryo. Alam nyo ba ngayon, we have only 7 seminarians from the high school to theology, pipito lang. And for the past 3 years, we have only 1 ordination. And just to give you another idea, within the next 10 years, before the 10 years happens, we will be having 10 priests retiring. And if we don't have much vocation, if we have only that 7, imagine 5 of that will be ordained by that time. And there will be 10 who is retiring. I have 5 missing. Wala na akong bokasyon. So yan ang dapat namin pagbigyan ng pagtuunan. How do you invite young people to enter the seminary?
Bishop, what are your projects and initiatives po during your time?
You mean as a bishop?
Yes po.
Una, as a bishop, kailangan kasi meron kaming vision and mission. Kumbaga, dapat i-organize ang aming itong tao, both lay, religious, at saka clergy, and come up with, ano ba tayo? At saan tayo tutungo? So we call that yung vision mo, yung mission as a community. What is your vision and mission? What are your values that you want to work for? We crafted what is called our Diocesan Pastoral Assembly. Some almost, 14 years ago. So maybe it's time to look back and check. Within 15 years, are we still in the same kind of vision and mission? We need to review. Kasi ang dami na pumapasok, ang mga bagong pumapasok. Una yung pandemic.
Yes po.
Nung pandemic, lumabas yung ano yung mga pagkukulang namin, ano yung challenge. Nawala yung edi yung misa, hindi na pwede makapunta sa simbahan. So we have to creatively come up with something that will open the sacraments to the homes. Kailangan yun sa home. So, meron tayong live streaming. So, importante nakita namin, social media. So, that was something we did not give emphasis before. Yung ministry and social communication. Now, it becomes necessary. Because that is where we communicate more effectively the gospel, yung values of Christ, the gospel values. So we come up with programs. we challenge our social communication. How do you use that to come up with programs that would be, first, open the eyes of people regarding evangelization, to evangelize. Yun po, yun ang nakikita ko isa. Pangalawa, how do you encourage to let the young people try out, itong seminary life.
Join us again next week on the second part of our interview. We would like to thank the following. There you have it, guys. Thank you for joining us in this episode of Mama's Boys. Hope to see you in our future episode. This has been your host, Karen Dane. Jamataray shune!